everybody make sure you subscribe to J New Orleans. You don't want to miss a thing.
Back pain can be caused by so many different things. Like for me, my back had real issues from carrying conversations for over decades and carrying connections where no reciprocation existed. But before we get started, I am not a doctor, physical therapist, chiropractor, or a medical professional. This video is for educational and motivational purposes only. If you have severe pain, numbness, weakness, recent injury, spinal issues, nerve symptoms, or pain that does not improve, please speak with a qualified medical professional before trying new stretches, exercises, or routines. Your back is not something to play with, even though y'all play with it all day. Listen to your body and get help when needed. Anyways, watch your back. No, really, watch your back. Because we all see it the same, and we see it all the time. Older relatives, friends, neighbors, co-workers, and even famous people suffering from back pain, hip pain, knee pain, neck pain, stiffness, mobility problems, and all kind of body ailments. What happened? How did they get there? Was it just age? And a lot of people blame age. Was it injury? Was it years of bad posture, no stretching, too much sitting, and ignoring the warning signs? That would be accountability if a person asked themselves that question. And most importantly, how can I prevent that from becoming me? Because a lot of people do not start caring about their body until their body starts filing complaints. And baby, when the body files a complaint, it does not always send a polite email. Sometimes it sends a shutdown notice. And that is the statistics. So where is the statistics at? From 18 to 29. We'll get to that later. That's just visuals. But that is statistics. It was not that blurry. I don't know what happened between compression and that. So yeah. Back pain is one of the most common physical issues adults deal with. According to the CDC, 39% of US adults reported back pain in the previous 3 months in 2019. And the rates were highest among older adults. Chronic pain is also a major issue, with CDC data showing in 2023, 24.3% of US adults had chronic pain and had high impact chronic pain. So when we talk about back pain, stiffness, and mobility, this is not some small issue. This is millions and millions of people walking around with pain that affects how they work, sleep, move, drive, travel, and live. And for the freaky people, they be trying to do their little 1, 2, and then they back blow out or go out or whatever. But here is where we have to be careful. Common does not mean harmless. Common does not mean inevitable. Common does not mean just get used to it. Sometimes common means a lot of people ignore the same warning signs. That's too common, actually. And then for this visual right here, in 2020, low back pain affected 619 million people globally. And it is estimated that the number of cases will increase to 843 million by 2050. It's almost a billion people, driven largely by population expansion and aging. LBP is the single leading cause of disability worldwide and the condition for which the greatest number of people may benefit from rehabilitation. Baby, the rehabs be so full. So if you are someone you know may need a purpose in life, if you get into physical therapy, you will always have something. Now, granted, people may lose opportunities in their area. That's like people may get laid off from their job in the area, but in a different city or state, it may be something different. Granted that everyone doesn't have the funds to move all of the time, but check the bio. I always leave resources for people that they may or may not know about. Majority of the time, people don't know about it. When I tell people about 211, which I try to mention it at least once a video. And if I don't mention it, it's always in the bio. Always, always, always. Um, they never know about it. LBP can be experienced at any age, and most people experience LBP at least once in their lives. Prevalence increases with age up to 80 years, while the highest number of LBP, I can't see because my thing on top of it, but occurs at the age of 50 to 55 years. But when it comes to things that people don't know, I find in some cases the person know things is just not helpful information. So their brain is storing information, but they store useless information on it. So all of the things that are important is not important to them. And that could be an environmental thing. You know, when you're living an unconscious life and you base your life off of the people around you, it can impact so many different things. That's a picture of a skeleton. And many, I don't know, I don't I, like whenever I compress, it always mixes up stuff. Like this was all supposed to be one section, but I'm gonna continue. That's why every now and then I pause, but it doesn't matter. The information is more important than the presentation. I don't care about visual. Well, I care about what I do on here, but I don't care how I'm perceived anyway, because as long as I know who I am, I have intention in my actions, and I'm aware of the impact they have on people. Like, you get it. But let's go back to the skeleton. Look at all of these different bones that we have: tibia, fibula. I learned a lot about that through injury. But let's see. And then this one displays the posture, how some people slump over, which that is very natural. Not to mention, certain seating makes it kind of difficult to sit upright, like the person in the bottom right image. Wait, let me move this. Could I move that? Okay, there we go. This at the top, that's really what prompted me to make this video. Too many people are lifting wrong. And it's bad because when you don't use your body, like there's so many people that don't have any muscle, like develop muscle. So when you bend like the red person that's bending and busting it open with that box, you're putting all of that on your spinal cord. And if you had back muscles, you probably would have put it on that too, which is bad. But you're supposed to do it like the person who dropping it low to the flow. Now you know, because as you see, all of the pressure is equally distributed throughout the spinal cord, and the legs is going to take the brunt of it. But yeah, that's how people blow their back out. Throw their back out. Why do I keep saying blow back out? Like I don't mean no innuendo by that because I'm very prude. That's like one of the things that people don't believe about me until they know me personally. I'm prude as hell. But New Orleans, we are the home of bounce music. So I am not a stranger to vulgar language and speaking. Okay, so now back pain is not rare, it's normalized. Sitting feels comfortable. Okay, yeah, no, it's mixed up. I'm gonna just keep going. Many people are unaware of what sitting, especially sitting in seats. Sit on that seat, especially sitting in seats that close your hips, does to our bodies over time. I'm actually sitting on air right now. It's one of them yoga balls, but it has air in it, so I'm sitting on air. That's why I'm rolling around like this. The chair is over there today because I usually try to fold my legs in there, but nah, I don't feel like it. I used to love sitting. I could sit for hours. I used to think a sitting job was a luxury. Word to call centers. I thought, oh, you mean I get to make money without standing all day? Sign me up. Until I started noticing something. I was getting stiff, not a little stiff. I mean, getting up like an old screen door stiff. And the scary part is that it did not happen overnight. It crept up on me. That is what makes it dangerous. You do not have to sit one time and suddenly your body betrays you. It is the repeated behavior, the daily position, the tight hips, the rounded shoulders, the weak glutes, the locked lower back, the body adapting to what you keep doing. Your body is always listening. It's always adjusting. If you sit all day with your hips closed, your body says, "Oh, this is the position we live in now." Bet. Then when you finally stand up and ask your body to move freely, it looks at you like, "Since when?" And it's not a good feeling. For me, I'm not even a comedian. I don't know why people ask me that a lot, but I have dark humor, which is trauma based, and that is one of my cheat codes to not being an emotional person, because I laugh at everything involving myself. Now, when it comes to other people, I treat that differently. That is why I really don't like talking about other people's issues, because people laugh even though it don't be a joke. But I guess I don't know. I've heard different reasons why people find stuff funny, but back pain is not a joke at all for other people. And hopefully people get to a point, well, people who care about these things, because there are people who don't care about any of this stuff. Hopefully people who do care get to a point where it's not talk anymore, it's action. All of that, I'm gonna start tomorrow. Oh, I need to do that. Oh, I need to start doing that. Oh man, I'm gonna start doing that tomorrow. Or the latter, making excuses why it's never possible, which is really projection, because the people that tell me stuff like that, I don't even ask them. I don't ask them, "Oh, are you going to start tomorrow?" Or, "Hey, you said you were going to do this," or, "I thought you were on a diet." Baby, whatever people do with their life is their life. That's all. Like, I'm not nobody chaperone. I'm not about to chaperone you to your goal. Now, I'll give you my point of view of my experience trying to reach that goal, or my observations of other people who attempted and succeeded or possibly failed and reached that goal. But when it comes to how you handle things, that is a you thing. Because what ends up happening is the listener tries to encourage the person, and then it becomes a never ending pep rally. Like every time you talk to them, they down again about whatever it is, and then you talk to them, and then they give you the fake confidence like they about to go out and hit a home run. But it's like, if you got to talk about it, that's already energy. Everything you do is energy. You burn the energy talking about stuff. Just make it happen. And if you can't make it happen, let it go then. Because if you can't make it happen, you can still have feelings about whatever it is, but you shouldn't give it the same level of energy that you would give things that you can control. That's what leads to people having all of these anger and sadness and pent up emotions, because they internalize every single thing. They see traffic, it's a bad day now. They see a line somewhere, they huffing and puffing. They ain't even seen if the line moving fast. I can't tell you how many times I've been in fast moving long lines where people will come behind me, huff and puff and leave. And then 5 minutes later, I'm done. So, yeah. And the body keeps receipts. Like them people be keeping text messages. Your body tells your story. It tells the story of your habits, your movement, your neglect, your work, your injuries, the story of the stretching you did not do. And listen, I'm not saying that to shame anyone. I'm saying it to shame everyone because awareness is the beginning of prevention. A lot of people think people come out of nowhere, but many times it was building a tight hip here, a sore back there, a stiff neck every morning, a little discomfort getting out the car, a little pain after sitting too long, a little outstretched tomorrow. Then tomorrow turns into 6 months. 6 months turns into 6 years. And one day your body says, since you did not schedule maintenance, I scheduled a breakdown. And then we have the display here of the different symptoms, because this is important. And when it comes to shame, I can't shame anyone. If a person feels shame as a result of what I said, that is an internal investigation. I am not inside your body. I don't know how you view the world. The motivation and the motive of all of this is informational. So if someone sharing something that you never heard before makes you think about yourself in a shameful manner, even though this is new information to you, then you need to go see a therapist. And that's not shame either. Because if other people are able to shame you, you may be dealing with insecurity. You definitely are. And that's fine, because we are not raised to be strong people. We're raised to be servants. Like, but that is a different video. Stretching is not optional. But look, sciatica is that one with the line from the, it looked like from the window to the wall, from the rooter to the, that's the sciatica one is from the rooter to the tutor. That's literally a visual representation of that. Lower back pain, whew, I remember that one. Upper back pain, I haven't really experienced that one too much. If I did, it was as a result of something else. So it was like upper back pain was a bonus feature. Chronic back pain, acute back pain, and then they have the things in the knees, because I added that in there because of this myth of mega knees and Sierra knees, that when they drop it low to the flow, that it's their knees that's doing that. That is not your knees that does that. That is a bunch of things in your leg. And it starts with your hips opening up, because in order to get in that position properly, your hips have to open up. And what happens is when your hips are tight and you're trying to drop in that position, you're pushing pressure down, versus when you open up, the dropping down is supposed to open you up. But since it's locked, all that tension is locked in. That's why people feel knee pain. But notice that when people are intoxicated, especially like during my club days, people would always be shocked about the dance moves that they did. But that's because stiffness is two things: your nervous system and the actual fascia, like the nerves and all of that stuff that moves around and all of that. Like it's the, let's see, it's like the that stuff that's on the knee on that third bottom right visual that's on the screen right now. Like, and when you don't use that, it tightens up, and you also lose fascia as you get older. That is why when people try to do positions they haven't done in years, they have a nice surprise waiting in the mail for them. And that's why stretching is important, because let me see if this is, see that was, we way up here. Stretching is not optional, but I'm gonna go back because I'm gonna get all these visuals off. I didn't sit up here and search for them and put them in there and all that for nothing. We're gonna start going through all these slides. If you sit often, whether it is a driving job, road trips, office work, planes, gaming, editing videos, working from home, offshore work, or just being on your phone for hours, stretching is not optional. It is maintenance. It is hygiene. It is brushing your teeth for your muscles. The World Health Organization recommends that adults limit sedentary time. Let me see if I have a thing of that. No, I don't. And replace it with physical activity of any intensity when possible. So basically, they saying limit the amount of time that you just sitting and replace it with a physical activity. So, like, if for me personally, this is something that I've done, I don't have a choice to do this. So, any of my connection to fitness, this was not by choice. And that video will be ready when the reason for the injury is over with, because it's still going on now. So, I can't talk about it in detail. I mean, I can mention it, but I can't actually, get in the meat and potatoes. I can only show you that I'm cooking. But with sitting, if I know I'm gonna be watching something for a long time, I'll either do like this, roll on the ball and like stretch my legs out, or I'll try to sit cross leg and do breathing exercises to open my hips up as I'm doing that, or just do something. Because when it comes to television, first of all, for me, I haven't seen nothing outside of maybe movies that I would sit and be undivided for. Like, all of this third screen content is garbage, basura. So it's nothing for me to do that. But I really haven't been watching television lately, because I have a lot of books I need to get through in a short period of time. So if anything, I'll read, but I'll even make sure I'm laying down flat or in a position where I'm not doing my body damage. Working from home, offshore work, or just being on your phone for hours, stretching is not optional. It is maintenance, it is hygiene. And I know some people hear that and think, I don't have the time. Let me stop moving. But let me ask you this: do you have time to be in pain? Do you have time to lose mobility? Do you have time to pay for avoidable issues later? Do you have time to be forced to slow down because you refuse to slow down on purpose? Because prevention takes time, but consequences take more. And let me go to that one. And yeah, it's really mixed up bad. That is crazy. My wake up call. My 2023 accident changed the way I looked at my body. After going through that experience, being limited, being medicated, being stiff, and dealing with pain and recovery, still dealing with it, I started seeing how quickly the body can change when movement is taken away. When you're not moving the way you used to, your body does not just pause, it adapts. Muscles get weaker, joints get tighter, your back starts feeling different, your hips start locking up, so you're not gonna be able to dance when Cry Mom come on and say, "I like the way she rock her hips and wave and slip." Your ship gonna be so stiff, you're gonna be looking like you doing this instead of rocking your hips. Your energy changes, your posture changes, your confidence can even change. And that is when I realized something. A lot of people are not just getting old. Some people are becoming less mobile because they stop doing things that preserve mobility. Age is real, injuries are real, genetics are real, medical conditions, but habits are also real. And habits are the part we have some control over. And you have to know that all of these places that get your money and attention don't care about none of this either. It's the reason why I ain't even look it up. So I'm just talking out the side of my beard. But it's the reason why McDonald's and all them other people don't have salads no more. They used to have salads, like full salads where you can get chicken and all of that. And it's like now all they do is just feed more processed food, which processed food, when it gets in our stomach, it releases a cancer causing chemical. So that's another video too. I have a lot of video. Actually, I'll usually, well, I don't have a set schedule. I every now and then I'll be generous and do back to back daily posting, but generally that's after I get done with the coursework for the week. And then so that was something. That's why I'm doing it today on a Wednesday. But in between that time, I wrote three more scripts because originally I was going crazy with the scripts, so I stopped because I didn't want to get to a point of feeling like I have something waiting for me. Like I try to knock things out. That's why I got better with time management. But I ended up writing three scripts. Like this one is about back and all of that other stuff. Next one is phone addiction crisis. I did that one already. I can move that one. Spending. Where's the YouTube folder? That's why it's on the wrong thing. Okay, the one about the back, then they have one about programming and habits, one about coastal new. Well, that's not. Yeah, one that's upcoming. I'm still doing research on that one. Coastal erosion in New Orleans. One about over planning and expectations, and then another about the benefits of vocational rehabilitation, which could be an alley oop to this current script. But back to the lesson at hand, because these videos be longer than the church service. A lot of back problems are not just about the back. Sometimes the back is the victim. Man, to be me and to write stuff, to laugh while I'm writing it, to laugh while I'm proofreading it, and then to laugh while I'm presenting it. Because I don't make this stuff up. I don't even think for long periods of time. I like this was just written from thought, like from an actual thought. A lot of back problems are not just about the back. Sometimes the back is the victim, not the criminal. Tight hips can affect the way you walk, stand, sit, and move. Weak glutes, which is weak butt muscles. Weak glutes can force your lower back to do work it was not designed to carry alone. Poor posture can add stress to your spine. Sitting for long periods can shorten certain muscles while weakening others. So when your back hurts, the question is not always what is wrong with my back. Sometimes the question is, what are my hips doing? What are my glutes doing? What is my core doing? How long have I been sitting? How often do I move? When was the last time I stretched? When was the last time I trained my body to support itself? Because your body is a system, your lower back is not living alone. in a studio apartment. It has neighbors. Neighbors be so annoying sometimes, all of the time. I see why people live on farms. We normalize stiffness too much. This is what y'all. I put this picture because first of all, it's pretty, but this is how the joints dry out over the years. Like once upon a lifespan, this probably was high. The water probably was much higher than what it was, and that's all of the moisture in our body, which it has a medical term, but I'm not a medical professional. But look at how it's drying out, and the dirt is your joints, and that is a visual representation of how over time you lose your little lagoon and your joints just get drier and drier. Speaking of, they have so many states that's in danger for water droughts, and I think maybe people who live there know, but I don't really hear much about it. People joke about being stiff. They joke about making noises when they get up, about needing a minute to stand straight, about sleeping wrong and being injured for 3 days. And yes, some of it is funny to them, but some of it is also a warning. We have normalized dysfunction so much that people think being unable to move well is just a part of adulthood. But adulthood does not have to mean being trapped in a body that feels like a rusty gate. Damn, a rusty gate. But that does mean you should surrender your mobility, but you shouldn't. That does not mean that you should surrender your mobility at 35, 45, 55, or 65. The goal is not to become a professional athlete. The goal is to be able to live, get out of bed, get out of chairs, lift groceries, travel, walk, dance, play with kids, work, exercise, recover, move without feeling your body is threatening you. And I mean, it's people who like to do stuff. So if anything, why would you like to do stuff that is straining your body and you don't take care of it, but then be shocked when stuff happens? But I kind of think that maybe it's because people who everyone looks up to lie so much about stuff that people start to believe certain things. But that's a different video. I don't think I'm even do a video on that because I'm not coming between the people and their idols. Like it's idol worship, and it ain't even like nothing to be offended over. If you worship somebody, own it. Don't be afraid of it, but just know that a lot of the influence is impacting your life. And these people show you every few weeks and years that they normal people just like you. And the NFL and all of the sports leagues and the media industry, the people we know that's famous, they work for people. They don't even make majority of the money that the people give them. Other people is making money for them. That's why you keep hearing all of these different people having to sue record labels and all of this other crazy stuff, because they're employees. They are not self-made. They only self-made when they start to buy everything and not need middlemen anymore. Until then, pimps and hoes. And the sedentary lifestyle is sneaky. The dangerous thing about sitting is that it feels harmless in the moment. You're just sitting, driving, working, scrolling, watching TV, editing, waiting, relaxing. But when you stack those hours day after day, your body starts adapting to the seated position. Globally, World Health Organization reported that nearly one third of adults, about 1.8 billion people, did not meet recommended physical activity levels in 2022. That is not just a fitness issue. That is a public health issue. And let's be honest, modern life makes it easy to be inactive. You can work sitting down, order food sitting down, pay bills, be entertained, talk to people, shop, argue with strangers online. You can live an entire day barely moving and still feel mentally exhausted. But mental exhaustion is not the same as physical movement. Your brain may be tired, but your body still needs circulation, mobility, strength, and stretching. Pain will humble you. Pain has a way of humbling people. You can be talented, you can be attractive, you can be ambitious, you can have money, plans, But when your back goes out, suddenly the mission changes. Now the goal is not success. The goal is putting on socks, standing up straight, getting in the car. Goal is sleeping without pain. The goal is walking without looking like you're buffering. That is why this matters, because when the body is working, people ignore it. When the body stops working, it becomes the center of everything. And prevention is not sexy, but it is powerful. Stretching is not always exciting. Mobility work does not always feel dramatic. Walking may not feel impressive. Strengthening your core and glutes may not look flashy, but these are the things that help keep your body functional. Prevention is not sexy, but it is powerful. It's the quiet work that keeps you from becoming a cautionary tale. And no prevention does not guarantee you will never have pain or injury. Life happens, accidents happen, medical issues happen, but prevention gives you a better foundation. And a better foundation matters. Ask anyone with the house. If the foundation is off, everything above it starts paying the price. Same thing with the body. Yeah, especially in cities like this one where they have them trees that make your foundation either sink or rise. Watch the people around you. It was just a stat. And this is another stat from another organization, even though it was organized, but it's not. Physical activity is one of the most important things you can do for your health. Adults need at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity a week, such as 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Adults also need 2 days of muscle strengthening activity each week. And these kind of videos is to catch people in the moment, because being around people in therapy and all of them being like of a certain age and all of them telling me to tell everyone my age and younger to take better care of their bodies, because a lot of the issues they experience would have been lessened or completely prevented if they took better care of their bodies when they were younger. And my confusion with all of that is that we always have people warning us about things, and it's like no, like people don't hear it, or some people have a habit of waiting until things are gone to care. They wait until the person leave their life to care. They wait until the job fires them to care. Like some people just don't have an ability to be present. And that might be some research I need to do too. Watch the people around you. Look at the people around you, not to judge them, but to learn. Look at the older people who still move well. What do? Do they walk, stretch, garden, dance, work out, stay active? Pay attention. Then look at the people who are always in pain, always stiff, always struggling to move. Again, not to shame them, but ask questions. What happened? Was it injury? Was it work, lifestyle, neglect, lack of access to care? Was it years of pushing through pain? Was it sitting too much? Was it never stretching? Was it all of the above? People are walking lessons. Some show us what to do, some show us what to avoid, but you have to be paying attention. And simple habits, I've been trying to catch up for the longest. Man, there's some good visuals. Pain is not always progress. I'm just trying to get back to where I was supposed to be. I guess I would be right here. You do not have to start with a complicated routine. Start simple. Stand up more often, walk daily, stretch your hips, stretch your hamstrings, open your chest, strengthen your core. I had that one ready for you. Strengthen your core. Train your glutes, drink water, pay attention to your posture, take breaks on long drives, stretch after flights. Do not sit for hours without moving. And please stop waiting until something hurts before you care about it. Your body should not have to scream for you to listen. I also understand, too, that throughout history, we've had different people in society. We have the people that started at one point and ended it at another point, which could be in a good way or a bad way. And then we have the people who inherited whatever point they was born into. With the people that inherited whatever point they was born into, some of them break away, but they find it difficult navigating through society because other people born in that same environment make them feel like they need their acceptance to do anything. And a lot of people fall trapped to that, so they don't make positive changes. Then you have people who just never change. And when it comes to those people, you have to leave those people alone. But those people get the most attention because they give people hope that the person trying to help them could get their Nobel Peace Prize for being a reason why somebody changed, but it's never going to happen. Like, people really are knee deep in who they are, especially as grown ass adults, even though grown is the age, but people are not mentally grown. A lot of people peaked in their childhood and teenage years, and then especially people who have multiple traumas. Trauma stops development. That is why it is important to heal. That's why you have people who can have something happen to them, and maybe they distance themselves from the problem, and they feel a sense of peace and think that that means healing, and try to go back out into the world only to duplicate that same situation again. So yeah, for me, I will never have them in mind. Now, whoever takes information from myself or whoever, good for them, but don't catch me doing it. A word for the drivers, desk workers, travelers, and editors. If you drive for work, watch your back. If you sit at a desk, watch your back. If you edit videos for hours, that's why I don't edit videos. Watch your back. I just update the quality to it in Final Cut Pro, and that's it. If you fly often, watch your back. If you take long road trips, watch your back. But I don't really have anything I would be editing, so I don't know. Like, if you work offshore in plants, in offices, in trucks, anywhere that puts stress on your body, watch your back. And if your job requires lifting, bending, twisting, or repetitive movement, be even more careful. NIOSH has specific ergonomic tools for evaluating lifting related back injury risks, which shows how serious workplace safety really is. Let me pull that up. Make up for all of the mix up. Make up for the mix up. Why don't we make up to break up? And remove. And the key points is that they've revised lifting equations. It can help you understand. So let's see what this is. The key benefits of using RNLE is providing guidance, providing guidelines, not I'm illiterate, serving as a risk assessment tool, helping raise workers' awareness about their job tasks, collecting quantitative lifting data for research. Well, they have an app and everything. I know y'all like them apps. And they have key variables. View Lorgia. Blow it up. Let me see if I can zoom in. Oh, I can zoom in. But I don't know how to parry. But there we go. So vertical point of projection, horizontal, lateral, midpoint between inner ankles and bones, vertical location, horizontal. Yeah, that box probably has some Bitcoin in it. That's why it's so heavy. Lifting index is the relative estimate of the physical stress associated with a single manual lifting task. Recommended weight limit is the amount most workers can lift during the work shift without the risk of a WMSD. Composite lifting is used in equation for jobs that require multiple lifting tasks. Let me see if this is something. Purpose. In 2019, Bureau of Labor Statistics reported 29% of cases, which is 325,270 cases of injured workplace injury. Geez. So just check that out. Well, not that website, but check out information about those things if that interests you. If it doesn't interest you, then it doesn't interest you. You know. So Your money matters, your career matters, your goals matter, but your body is the vehicle of carrying it all. Do not destroy the vehicle chasing the destination. Closing message. So when I say watch your back, I mean it in every way. Watch your back physically, your habits, your posture, how long you sit, how little you stretch. Wait, nah, that's a mix up. That is not the closing. Ego lifting. Yep, see, that was the wrong. Like, how did it do that? Like, that is sick. That's so sick. So yeah, we got buku stuff left. Bone health, hydration. They short sections though. I made them shorter. And notice I'm not elaborating too much for a long time. Okay, I'm almost there. Just give me a moment. Strong arms, tight hips, the core. Yep, all of the right sections. See, I knew I wasn't tripping. That's because I added more, and I have two files, and that was the original without the extra 5 sections. Extra 5 sections that help people with information about their life. I'm just trying to help. Let me say this carefully. Stretching does not fix everything. Stretching is not magic. Stretching cannot replace medical care, physical therapy, strength training, nutrition, sleep, hydration, or proper diagnosis. But for many people, stretching is one of the most accessible, free, overlooked tools they have. The American College of Sports Medicine recommends flexibility exercises at least 2 to 3 days per week, with greater gains when stretching is done daily. Stretching should be gentle, controlled, and not pushed into sharp pain. That matters because many people only stretch when something already hurts. That is like only changing your oil after the engine starts smoking. Stretching should not be treated like punishment, it should be treated like communication. You are telling your body, feel it all over my body. I still need to access this range. I still need my hips open. I still need my shoulders to move. Oh, do your shoulder work. Do the shoulder work. I still need my calves to lengthen. I still need my back to breathe. Let me add this. Stretching is not about showing off, even though it's fun to show off in the gym if you want to, if you want that kind of attention. Because if you want attention at the gym, they're going to give it to you. Because all of the attention seekers, they get the attention they're looking for. This is not about posting yourself doing yoga poses that look like you're trying to fold your body into carry on luggage. This is about function. Can you bend safely, squat safely, reach overhead, get off the floor? Can you turn your neck without your whole body look like Batman in the 1989 suit? Can you step out of a car after a long drive without moving like your warranty expired? Y'all should see me get out the car. It's funny as hell. It don't even look like I get out the car the way I get out the car. That is what we are talking about. Function, freedom, access. Yep, we on track. See, stretching. He doing two things at once because the way his legs sitting, the left leg, that's gonna help with the hip, the left hip, and then the right leg, that's helping with the hamstring. And then back to, we talked about this. And then the famous muscles versus forgotten muscles. Society loves the celebrity muscles, the Beyoncés of the music world, biceps, triceps, biceps, triceps, pecs, abs, calves, gluteus maximus. And let us be honest, that triple B, big bounty booty, word to Juvenile and Meg, those muscles get all the attention. People train what they can see in the mirror. Arms for shirt, chest for pictures, abs for beach, glutes for the silhouette, calves if you're genetically blessed or spiritually chosen. But the body has a whole supporting cast that people ignore until something goes wrong. Hip flexors, deep core muscles, glute medius, hamstring, abductors, spinal stabilizers, rotator cuff, feet, ankles, forearms, grip strength, neck stabilizers, fascia, connective tissue, Balance systems sounds like a vehicle. And the funny thing is, those less glamorous parts often determine whether the glamorous parts can perform safely. You can have big arms and still not know how to lift. Big mama, your arm. You can bench heavy and still have weak hips. You can look strong and have poor balance. You can curl 50-pound dumbbells and still not be able to control your spine when you pick up a box. This is why you see some top heavy people who look powerful but have weak leg strength. In sports like boxing, you can sometimes see the person with the strong upper body but unstable base. They may swing hard, but if their legs, hips, and core cannot transfer and absorb force, they can get knocked down like a bowling pin. Power without foundation is decoration. The body is not impressed by ego. The body respects structure. One of the biggest misunderstandings in fitness is the core. People think core means six pack. No. A six pack is mostly the visible abdominal wall. It can look good, yes, but your core is much deeper than that. Your core includes muscles that help stabilize your spine, pelvis, trunk, and breathing mechanics. It helps transfer force between the upper and lower body. It helps you lift, twist, walk, twerk, balance, brace, cough, run, and avoid dumping every load into your lower back. The CDC's adult activity guidelines, and we went over that already. I'll skip that. Notice that the abdomen is included, but it is not alone. Core training is not just crunches. Core training can be dead bugs, bird dogs. Well, now we're gonna have to pull that up, visual, because get to the point and be saying all that stuff is like you just talking out the arse. Let's see. Core. Let's see. Are those all core exercises? No. Oh, because they say or. I'll just shut that part right there. But all I did was go to Google and type core exercises. So I don't think that should be too hard for anybody to do. I hope not. I mean, it might. I don't know. Shit. I don't know, y'all. But I care about you. I care about all humans. I want us all to be the greatest people. I mean, if that was possible, I would. Yep, that's just different core exercises. What is this one? See, that's something right there. Yep. And that's it for that. Okay, remove, back up. And when the lower back works overtime, it starts filing complaints. At first, the complaint is stiffness, then tightness, then soreness, then sharp pain. Then I need to sit down. Then I cannot bend. Then I cannot work. Then I need help. That is why I say some people are setting an expiration date on their good health without realizing it. Not because they're bad people, but because they're training the show muscles and ignoring the support system. What is a bad person? I mean, you see that be used when people describing whether or not a person benefits them or not. So those were the ones. That's a core exercise, side planks. That's just a plank, allegedly. And then that's the body screaming for help whenever people neglect it. Tight hips, bad squats, and angry knees. A lot of people think knee pain starts with the knee. Sometimes it does, but many times the knee is just the middle child catching everyone else's drama. When you squat, your hips need to open, your ankle needs mobility, your core needs to stabilize, your glutes and legs need strength, your feet need to stay connected to the ground. If the hips are tight, the knees may take extra stress. If the ankles are stiff, the knees may compensate. If the glutes are weak, the lower back may help too much. If the core is not stabilizing, everything gets messy. This is why you can see a person who works out but still cannot do a proper squat without their back taking over. And this is also why age is not the only explanation. People love to say I am too old for that. They see Sierra or Megan. Yeah, that's the proper squat form right there. And then this for the Sierra Mega Import. Another proper squat form. See with the first two guys, they back is straight, even though his shirt make it look like the first guy's shirt make it look like he got a dip in his. But this other guy, his back is not, is like he's going down, but it looked like it's pulling his back when he do it too. Okay. Then they see Sierra or Megan moving their knees like they signed a private contract with gravity and say, well, they're in shape. Yes, fitness matters, but movement access matters too. I have seen morbidly obese people squat with no problem. I have seen smaller people who cannot squat at all. Size is not the whole story. The question is, what positions does your body still trust? This is where the nervous system comes in. Your nervous system monitors movement. If you try not to move, or if you try to move in a position your body does not use, does not trust, or associate with danger, it may stiffen to protect you. The tightness may not only be muscle length, it may also be guarding. Your body is saying, I do not know what you're doing, and I do not trust you in this position. That is why forcing it can backfire. Sometimes you have to regress the movement, break it down. If you cannot squat, maybe the first goal is not squatting. Maybe the first goal is sitting on a chair with control, then standing up with control, then opening the hips, breathing, practicing a supported squat, then gradually building strength. This is what I had to learn. I could not squat, so I minimized the focus. I worked on crossing my legs. I worked on breathing. I worked on calming my nervous system enough to allow my legs to move. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. Strong arms do not mean strong body. There's a dangerous assumption that if someone looks strong, they can lift anything. Big arms do not mean safe mechanics. Broad shoulders do not mean strong hips. A large chest does not mean a stable spine. Even if your posture is correct, if your lower body and core are weak, your upper body may take the brunt of a load it was never supposed to carry alone. That is how people hurt themselves helping someone move at understaffed jobs, being the dependable one, the captain saver bro, the one who everyone calls, the one who shows up, the one who carries the couch, the boxes, emotional baggage, family expectations, and the entire group chat crisis line. I know that role too well. Word to the 10-minute version by Taylor Swift all too well. But that is why shadow work matters, because sometimes the body is not only injured by bad movement, sometimes the body is injured by bad boundaries. You keep saying yes, you keep helping, keep proving, keep rescuing, lifting what is not yours. Then one day your back says, since you will not set the boundary, I will. That is a sermon right there. Your body will sometimes enforce what your mouth refuses to say. And they go, pain is not already all progress. That's the man in the surgery room. He probably said, I fell and I can't get up. We have romanticized pain. No pain, no gain. Push through, beast mode, go hard or go home. But pain is information. Not all pain means stop forever. Some discomfort comes with training, growth, mobility work, and physical therapy. But sharp pain, nerve pain, pain that worsens, pain that changes your movement, pain that causes numbness, tingling, weakness, loss of control, or pain after a fall or accident is not something to play with. Pain is not automatically progress. Sometimes pain is a warning. In sports, this mindset can be dangerous. In football, especially, the body pays a price. Studies and surveys of retired NFL players show high levels of pain, orthopedic issues, and joint problems after years of repetitive impact. One 2025 ESPN KFF survey reported that 96% of former NFL players had pain in the past 3 months, and about half reported daily pain. So 96% of surveyed former NFL players. Damn, I wonder how many they surveyed. Let me see. I'm about to go to that right now and see if it says that. Like, how many people did you survey for the survey? Okay, the survey interviewed 546 players, more than one third of those living today. about their total life outcomes as they near retirement ages, from their physical and mental health to their attitudes about the game today. Players who average age is 62 reported experiencing physical and mental declines at rates several times more severe than men their age across a range of categories. This is the NFL we talking about, people. Just like the music industry, they made it so beautiful that everyone tried their whole life to get on and can get up. Some of the findings related to physical and mental health include 47% of former players say they had serious difficulty concentrating, remembering, or making decisions, compared to 6% of men their age. So between former players of a certain age and regular people of a certain age, 47% of the players have an issue that only 6% of regular people have. Think about that. The players were twice as likely to have having pain that limited their daily life or work activities most days. 35% for a simple task such as walking or climbing stairs. 36% of the ex NFL players reported having difficulty more than 3 times their age. Baby, I gotta stop reading that article. That's too much. It get worse than that though. Wait till y'all find out how the NFL handle mental illness. But that doesn't, or don't handle it. That does not mean every athlete will end up disabled, but it does remind us that even elite bodies have limits. So imagine the regular person, the person who does not stretch, who does not sleep well, who is dehydrated, working doubles, driving all day, carrying children, groceries, equipment, tools, boxes, stress, trauma, and no bills. The person with no trainer, no physical therapist, no recovery plan, no medical team, and no clue what their vitamin levels are. Let me close some of this stuff too, because I think that might be the reason why it looked like StreamYard is twerking. It's because it's too many windows open, even though I should have enough RAM to power a small town. If professional athletes can pay a price, why do regular people think neglect is free? Hmm. Workplace injuries. Always sue them people. Sue them, sue them, sue them, sue them, because these people manipulate you and make you think that that job is all you have, or that's your family, or the people that right by you. Baby, those people only care about their best interest. And if they got to fake it to make it, that's what they do. If they cared about you, you would be making more money. Anyways, this is bigger than the gym. This is bigger than stretching before a workout. This is about life. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that private industry employees had 2.6 million non-fatal workplace injuries and illnesses in 2023. Damn, that's 2.6 million people was injured in 2023 at work, and 946,500 involved days away from work. The industries with high physical demand often carry high injury risk. Healthcare, transportation, warehousing, manufacturing, construction, agriculture, retail, and jobs involving heavy lifting, bending, pushing, pulling, reaching, repetitive movement, awkward posture, or long hours on your feet. And also, them retail people, they slick ass, they have in their job description that, oh, you only need to lift 10 pounds. Oh, you only need to lift 20 pounds. But whenever they doing any type of remodeling in the store, they be too cheap to hire people to do it themselves. So they have regular employees lifting all kind of heavy stuff and working long hours in addition to lifting stuff that they ain't never lifted before. So be careful of that. Must you musculoskeletal disorders, sometimes called ergonomic injuries, often involve muscles, tendons, ligaments, nerves, joints, and spinal structures. The Bureau of Labor Statistics notes that overexertion and repetitive motion are primary causes of these injuries. And it is not just the workplace. Falls are a major issue. I've fallen and I can't get up, especially for older adults. The CDC says falls are the leading cause of injury for adults 65 and older. Lord, these numbers is high, man. See, I just, baby, look, if you ain't took nothing from this video, took that it's very bad out here. And more than 14 million people, or 1 in 4 older adults, report falling each year. And that's so sad. And during my time in the medical industry, doing healthcare advocation, look, listen, but it was a lot of people who lived alone and fell, and life just declined for them. Like, imagine, for the people that's money hungry, imagine you become rich around 50, 60, and all of that stuff that you ain't been taking care of just hit you, and now your money going to medical because you didn't have insurance, or now your money going to pay people to take care of you because you didn't listen to my other videos about the fact that you need to find yourself and reset your life. Because if you have not healed from trauma, and if you carrying people in your life for years just to say it, you are not living in your purpose, especially if you are someone who, no matter what you buy, you need to buy more. Us as humans, when we don't live in our purpose, it turns us into crazy people. Just like people who don't get affection, when we don't get affection long enough, it starts to turn us feral on the slick side. And that's just my opinion. I don't have science to back that up. But just notice, people who don't get affection often, notice how bitter they are. A fall is just not a fall. Fall can be the dividing line between independence and dependence. A back injury is not just a back injury. It can become lost wages, workers' comp stress, medical debt, depression, relationship strain, and a smaller life. And y'all be afraid to sue. So, whew, I hope y'all get released from the shackles, because the people will sue you. They have no problem doing that. And they will have you arrested. And let me say this for the workers. If you are being asked to do unsafe work, understaffed work, or lifting beyond your capacity, keep your future in mind. Document things, organize evidence, report through proper channels. Do not get emotional and blurt out everything to people who have not earned your trust. And if you believe your job is putting you at risk or retaliating against you for speaking up about safety, consider talking to an employment attorney or workers' compensation attorney in your state. Your back is not worth somebody else's poor staffing model. And keep in mind, if you ever come across situations, you need solid evidence. People have a bad habit of telling you 20 things that happen at work. And when you ask them for pictures, emails, did they make a journal? No. Baby, that ain't going to hold up in court. Now, granted, if you get a fire attorney, now it varies by area, and be careful with attorneys, because they have scamming attorneys out there. Like, just every industry that have people with money gonna scam. Scammers are everywhere money is, just like pedophiles are everywhere children are. Same difference. People who crave something will be everywhere in the room with it. Like, robbers always somewhere where money is. The older people in rehab tried to warn us. Tried to warn me, tried to let me know. Hello. When I was in inpatient rehab, I met older people who had lived full lives. Some of them were funny, some were frustrated, some were peaceful, some were scared. Some had family showing up. Some were waiting on people who barely called, but a lot of them had one shared message: tell younger people to take care of their bodies, baby. Because once independence is gone, you realize how much of life was built on little movements you never respected. You getting up to use the restroom, walking to the kitchen, getting in and out of the shower, putting on socks, picking up something from the floor, driving, traveling, standing long enough to cook, sleeping without pain, going outside without fear of falling. You do not realize how rich mobility is until you lose it. I appreciated it before I lost it. That's the crazy thing. And it don't help that I have the memory of an elephant. So I remember every day of not being able to walk. And it's not something that your brain can register. If you go from being at work and running for your life to being in the emergency room for a month, to being in physical therapy, inpatient physical therapy for a month, and then coming back to land in a wheelchair, and then having to learn to walk again, and all kind of other stuff going on before that, like it's no amount of money that can make that feel comfortable. And while you're trying to navigate yourself, the musty ass people around you who was riding your coattail are shamelessly still attempting to ride your coattail in the middle of a crisis. Like, so If you have people that could be there for you, appreciate them and find a way to stay connected with them without forcing you to still be around them if y'all outgrew each other. But yeah, I know. And this is where philosophy enters the room. The body is the house the soul lives in. You can decorate your life with cars, clothes, jewelry, trips, restaurants, and status, or like my British people say, status. But if the house is falling apart, the decorations do not save you. I am not against luxury. No, I am against luxury. The fuck? See, that's why I don't like when they edit stuff because some of my stuff get changed. They be trying to be nice to people. I don't like luxury. Now, me not liking stuff, I have to over explain because the internet is full of idiots. That doesn't mean that I look at other people doing it and think the same thing. I don't give a fuck what other people do at all. I give that's the whole reason I'm on here giving helpful information because take it or leave it like a pamphlet. But I am tired of seeing people wear luxury on top of neglect. Designer belts with rotten teeth. Car notes higher than rent, but no physical therapy copay. Hair done, outfit clean, shoes expensive, but cannot walk upstairs without sounding like a haunted accordion. Hood rich, help poor. And I say that with love because knew what it is to be in pain. I knew what it is to be stuck in one area of the house because recovery pain was so bad. I know what it is to have PTSD dragging me by my shiny forehead and still have to fight for appointments. I know what it is to have people around you who would have told you to skip the protocol, ignore the therapy, not advocate for yourself, and just accept less. If I had listened to the wrong mindset, I might still be in a wheelchair. That's why I am loud about this because someone needs to hear it before the injury. And also stay away from people who drive recklessly. People take for granted all of these different reckless physical activities that they do that you could easily be paralyzed. Like, and not to mention, imagine me having the whole 2023 planned out from January to December, trips lined up from the rooter to the tutor, work lined up, school lined up, everything lined up. But situation happened in April. So everything from May, June, July, I had to cancel all that from out the hospital because who was gonna cancel it for me? Like that's so y'all have to really think about what you're doing. If you're gonna have fun, know your consequences and don't do things if you can't accept the consequence. That's one reason why for me, people never really heard me complaining about anything related to consequences because even as a child, I always knew before I do this gonna happen. Or this could happen, or this could happen. So am I okay with all four of these possibilities? Okay, put me in the game, coach. Ego lifting, weekend sports, and sudden injuries. Let's talk about the gym. I've seen men built like a busted can of potatoes walk into the gym and think they can start with 1 hour on the treadmill and 100 plus pounds on weights because they pick up their kids and the dog. No, baby, that is not the same thing. Your wrist needs conditioning, your grip needs conditioning, your forearms, shoulders, bike, back, hips, ankles, core, heart needs gradual conditioning. The gym is not where you prove you're still young. The gym is where you build the capacity to keep living well. And weekend sports are another trap. Some people are sit all week, sleep poorly, eat whatever, drink too little water, never stretch, then randomly play basketball, football, or softball like scouts are in the parking lot. Then Monday comes and they're walking with the 10 man after like the 10 man after the rain. Or worse, they tear something. The problem is not fun. The problem is pretending your body is prepared for demands you have not trained for. You cannot spend months inactive, then demand athletic performance from a body you have treated like storage. Warm up, start slow, do mobility, build strength, respect recovery, and do not let ego write a check your knees have to cash. Sleep positions, phones, driving, and daily damage. A lot of body problems are not caused by one dramatic movement, they're caused by daily repetition. Phone posture, hours looking down, shoulders rounded, neck forward, back curve, hips closed, driving long distances, wallet in back pocket throwing off the pelvis. Oh, I didn't know that one. Sleeping twisted after carrying a bag on one side, standing with all weight on one leg, sitting on soft couches that collapse the hips, never walking, never stretching after flights, never moving during work breaks, always wearing shoes with no support, always lifting from awkward positions, always rushing, tense, bracing, ignoring. Cell phones are a big one. People will spend hours folded over a screen and wonder why their neck, shoulders, upper back, and hands hurt. People will also wonder why I don't communicate via cell phone when I don't use my cell phone. And I've been saying that forever. And people are just so slow and controlling that they think because they need entertainment, you supposed to provide it, even though majority of the people that I used to know wasn't even talking about shit. I was just a nice person trying to love on people and hoping that they grow out of the dirt that they were in, but they don't. They like them wildflowers I planted 3 months ago that's still nothing there. It's still just soil because it's no growth. The body adapts to the position you repeat. So if you live in a folded position, do not be shocked when standing tall starts to feel foreign. Sleep positions matter too. Not everyone has control over where they sleep. And I want to be sensitive to that. Some people sleep wherever they can. Some people are in unstable housing. Some people are sharing beds, couches, floors, ships, rigs, barracks, or temporary spaces. But if you do have control, pay attention. Do you wake up stiff every morning? Do you sleep with your neck twisted? Do you sleep on your stomach with your head cranked to one side? Do your hips feel tight when you stand? Do your shoulders ache? Stretching throughout the day can help fight some of the effects of poor positions, but if your sleep setup is constantly hurting you, that needs attention too. Not everything requires a luxury mattress. Sometimes it is pillow placement. Sometimes it is hip support. Sometimes it is not sleeping with your body twisted like a crime scene outline. Bone health, vitamins, hydration, and movement. Health is not just weight. When I talk about health, weight is one of the last things on my mind. I'm thinking about whether you can move around your home, whether you can squat, get off the floor, whether you can run for safety. Y'all be in all these public places. And then people who travel a lot. I know the airport be whooping y'all behind. Like, I used to have to get wheelchair assistance, but I got tired of it after a while. They made me miss a flight one time. So after that, I just said no. And I had got there 2 hours early and I still missed my flight somehow. Whether you can get off the floor, whether you can run if you need for safety, whether you can travel and know how to stretch after a flight, whether your bones are strong, whether your muscles can protect your joints, whether your balance can protect you from falls, whether your body can still participate in your life. Bone health matters because bones are living tissue. They respond to nutrition, hormones, movement, resistance, age. Another one of them acronyms, NIAMS, states that calcium and vitamin D are important for keeping bones strong, and exercise can strengthen muscles and bones, improve balance and coordination, and help prevent falls and fractures. Common nutrients people may need to pay attention to include calcium for bones and muscle function, vitamin D for calcium absorption and bone health, magnesium for muscle and nerve function, protein for muscle repair and maintaining lean tissue, vitamin K for bone related processes, omega 3 fats for general anti inflammatory support, though supplements should be discussed with a professional, iron and B12, especially for people with fatigue, anemia risk, restricted diets, or absorption issues. Absorption issues, like if you have issues absorbing vitamins to where you may be eating the foods that have the vitamins, or you may be taking the vitamins, but your level's not changing. That's what absorption is. But do not just run to the store and buy every supplement with a shiny label. Supplements are not candy. More is not always better. Some supplements interact with medications. Some are unsafe at high doses. Some are poorly labeled. Some are unnecessary. Some deficiencies need lab testing, not guessing. And baby, by all means, never, ever, 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 unless them people say it directly on their bottle, which a lot of them don't ever take vitamins on no empty stomach unless you're trying to go home from work and be in the emergency room. That shit will tear you up. It will have you throwing up. It'll have you with a fever. It'll have it. Don't ever take vitamins on an empty stomach unless it's like something that tells you to do that, and then if you get those symptoms, sue them. But like them multivitamins, men's one a day, and them hard vitamins, baby, don't ever take that on the empty stomach. Make sure you eat and you have the vitamin right there with you. Because even if you take it an hour or 2 hours later and it don't catch up to the food in your stomach and it get in your stomach by itself, whoo-wee, I'll never forget that. That happened in 2008, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. Like, whoo. And it was not. I was a minor at the time, and the idiot adult who gave me the vitamins didn't give me the whole thing and just gave me a vitamin and say, take this. So, yeah, can't trust adults. And water matters. Your body is like these cars people go broke to buy. It needs lubrication. Your joints need movement. Your tissue needs hydration. Your muscles need circulation. Your body cannot run on soda, stress, and alcohol. And I'll stretch tomorrow. You cannot neglect the machine and experience luxury performance. Also, too, as a person who drank from the age of 12 to what is it? 28, 29. I don't remember when I stopped, but I know I did, and it's been years. That's why I don't remember, because it ain't that big of a deal. But the reason why it was 12, that wasn't my choice. They somebody's mama at the sixth grade graduation party switched out the Sprite for champagne. So it was not anybody's decision to do that. But that was the first one. But anyways, alcohol is not that good for people to be destroying their body with it. Like when we don't know about things, it's like the universe let you get away, or God or whoever let you get away with it. But when you know about stuff and you still doing wrong, them consequences becoming like fast, like boom. So for people that's getting older, alcohol is not your friend. If anything, it can lead to depression. It could become addictive. It could become a part of your life. Not to mention, if you're not making the best decisions before you drink or while you're drinking, you can lose your freedom. You can lose your life. You can lose your ability to consent to people. For generations, we always have these situations where people are drinking in public or drinking in public, but privately, like in a section or in people's space, and things happening and people can't answer stuff. To prevent all of that is not something we have to do. It's not like you got to take a shot to get a passport. The shit is not worth it. People losing phones, wallets, purses, wrecking cars. Like, it's not worth it. Find something safe to do. Like, really. And if if you choose not to, then that's on you. But all I can say is, out of my years of drinking, I've never benefited from drinking. It's never maybe one time when I was at this club and nobody wanted to dance, and I started dancing, and this lady started throwing money at me, and it was $100 bill in there. But other than that, I've never benefited from it. If anything, I've kept people around and tolerated them and used that as a way to not really care as much, or met with people in places and felt like we bonded because of the illusion of alcohol, only to realize that's their whole personality. All they know is clubbing. All they know is about the club. You talk to them on a regular day, you can't even have a regular conversation with them. Or for me, I've always been a person who have a multiple layers to my personality. Like, I have my astronomy side, I have my technology side, my mechanical side, my cooking side. I have different sides, and people don't be able to handle that. They care more about the fun part, which is the least favorite part of me, because I can have fun, I can be social, I could be cool, I could be all of that shit. Shout out to the hood. But one trick ponies don't work for me. And there's a lot of one trick ponies out there. Nature, nervous system, and relearning movement. That's why I value the people who value me for who I am, and they don't try to get anything else out of me or try to make me be one part of myself. And I'll mention them in positive videos, but I ain't gonna be no positive videos no time soon. Y'all need to hear the truth. Truth ain't positive or negative, it's just the truth. One of the most underrated ways to reconnect with the body is nature. Not because nature is magic in a fake way, but because nature invites movement without making it feel like punishment. Walking outside, stretching in the grass, standing near trees, breathing near water, doing ankle circles in the park, opening your hips before a walk, taking your shoes off safely in clean grass or sand if appropriate, letting sunlight touch your skin responsibly, listening to birds instead of notifications. Nature helps some people slow down enough to feel their body again, and that matters because many people are disconnected from their bodies. They live from the neck up. Thoughts, bills, screams, stress, arguments, deadlines, social media, trauma, noise. Then the body has to scream to get attention. Some stretching can become a form of listening, not performing listening. Where am I tight? Where am I guarding? Where am I weak? Where am I rushing? Where am I holding stress? Where do I feel fear? Where does my body not trust me? That last question is important because your injury, trauma, or years of inactivity, the body may not trust movement. You may need to rebuild that trust slowly. A baby does not start by deadlifting. A baby starts by reaching, rolling, crawling, balancing, falling, and trying again. We used to stretch naturally. Babies move through ranges adults lose. Pets stretch throughout the day. Dogs and cats do not wake up and immediately start handling business. They stretch first. They instinctively prepare the body. Meanwhile, humans wake up late, grab the phone, sit in the car, sit at work, sit at lunch, sit in traffic, sit on the couch, then wonder why the body is filing lawsuits. Nature reminds you that movement is supposed to be a part of living, not a punishment for eating, not a performance for social media, not a seasonal panic before summer. Movement is maintenance. Doctors, medicine, supplements, and personal responsibility. We also need to be balanced when we talk about healthcare. Medication is a huge industry. Prescription drugs and medical systems involve money, policies, insurance, research, legal risk, and institutional guidelines. But we have to be careful not to oversimplify it. Doctors are not all villains. Many doctors are doing the best they can inside systems that limit time, limit treatment options, limit insurance approvals. Yeah, ooh. Baby, that time for the medical industry, baby, they be denying people stuff for the craziest reasons. You got to really advocate for yourself when it comes to certain procedures. And also, unfortunately, every year the insurance takes and adds stuff. So you might be a person who have a particular treatment that is the reason you have that insurance, and that next year that might be the thing that they take off. Now, granted, I get that when people hear that they mumble and grumble, but the solution to all of that is that if more people came together, but we're divided strategically through race, sexual orientation, all of this other stuff. But if we all came together because they it impacts all of us, we could lobby for better laws and better consumer protections. But we don't. We have a divided country. We have divided communities. That is why I cringe when I see people going at other groups because of their group. Black people going at other black people, or men going at women, or all of the different things, because we never, like, y'all are never going to get help in that manner because y'all all have the same issues, but y'all don't even like each other. So good luck to you, Charlie. Also, many doctors are doing the best they can inside systems that limit time, limit treatment options, limit insurance approvals, and expose them to legal risks if they recommend things outside of accepted standards. So doctors can be sued. That's like I had to tell this ignorant person I know. My doctor don't never be telling me nothing about no healthy stuff that I could do at home. Because they can't do it, dummy. Also, illegal kickbacks are not just how things work, they are prohibited. The federal anti kickback statute generally prohibits payments in exchange for referrals or other federal healthcare businesses. There are real concerns about financial influence in medicine, which is why the open payment system exists to make sure payments from drug and device companies to covered healthcare providers are publicly reportable. So yes, ask questions. Yes, advocate for yourself. Yes, learn. Yes, ask about physical therapy, nutrition, labs, movements, lifestyle, and sleep. But do not put your doctor's license at risk asking them to endorse random internet advice, unregulated supplements, or my cousin said this worked treatments. Also, do not use my doctor said it was safe as a way to bully people online into copying your situation. Your body is your body. Your labs are your labs. Your meds are your meds. Your risks are your risks. What is safe for one person may actually be unsafe for another. That is why the safest approach is ask, test, verify, reference. These teeth shifting again in these braces, so that's why I'm slipping on words, feeling illiterate, feeling like I was slow. That was 2 words, but it sounded like one. Start small. Do not do anything that causes sharp pain. And if you're recommended physical therapy, take it seriously. Physical therapy is not just exercises, it is education, it is body awareness, it is learning how to move again. It is learning how to tell the difference between discomfort and danger. It is learning how to advocate when instructions are unclear. And if you do not like the experience, change the people if you can. Find another therapist, find another clinic, ask questions, speak up. Do not silently suffer through care that is not helping you. And vocational rehabilitation. This is a section, but matter of fact, I'm gonna skip this section because I already have a video for it. Well, no, because I did it already. I might as well read it. Vocational rehabilitation and life after injury. Is there life after love? Do you believe in life after love? I can feel some things inside me say. If you're injured and cannot go back to the same work, learn about vocational rehabilitation. Vocational rehabilitation programs can help millions. Vocational rehabilitation can help people with disabilities or work restrictions prepare for, obtain, or return to employment. The U.S. Rehabilitation Services Administration oversees state vocational rehabilitation programs, and state agencies provide services connected to employment and independence. For injured workers, the Department of Labor says vocational rehabilitation aims to help workers return to work as quickly as possible. Not quickly, don't rush me, I'm injured. To a job compatible with physician provided work restrictions, with pay as close as possible to pre injury wages. That's nice. So if you was offshore making, 500 a day, they're gonna try to get you close to that. Services may include vocational evaluation, resume development, transferable skills review, return to work planning, and communication with employers about suitable work. In Louisiana, getting paid for this country grammar. Louisiana Rehabilitation Services assist people with disabilities in obtaining, maintaining, or advancing in competitive integrated employment and achieving greater independence. That is important because injury can attack identity. A person can lose the job they love. I did. A person can lose the work that gave them pride. A person can lose their routine, income, confidence, and social world. I knew a young lady in her 20s with her whole life ahead of her who became permanently disabled after bending down to reach something on the bottom shelf. Workers' compensation only held her down for so long, and even if she finds another job, the one she had was her passion. It didn't even feel like work to her. That is the part people miss. Injury does not just hurt the body, it can grieve the future. You think you hopeless now, you get injured, baby. Y'all really gonna be having something to cry about on the internet. It can change who you thought you were becoming. That is why prevention matters, but support after injury matters too. If you are injured, do not disappear into shame. Ask about physical therapy. Ask about work restrictions. Ask about vocational rehab. Ask about accommodations. Ask about healthcare advocates. Ask if your insurance, if they have case managers. Ask local medical groups if they have patient advocates. Ask your state workforce agency what programs exist. You are not weak for needing help. You are responsible. Oh, you are responsible for seeking the help that may keep your life from shrinking. I gotta go back to that. Oh, gotta throw it back. Gotta. You are not weak for needing help. You are responsible for seeking the help that may keep your life from shrinking. Baby steps, what you can start doing for free. Now, here is where people mess up. Look, we just slides, baby. We're going to get these slides out the way. They feel inspired and immediately overdo it. They join the gym they will not use, and they went off that subscription manipulation. All them subscription companies prey on the fact that people forget about subscriptions. They text someone, I'm about to change my life. They buy equipment, they buy supplements, shoes. They say 200 videos. Then 3 days later, nothing. Do not start with the performance. Start with a practice. Start free. Start small. Start where you are. Here are practical baby steps. When you wake up, before grabbing your phone, take 60 seconds to breathe and gently move your neck, shoulders, ankles, and hips. Before driving, do a quick check. Shoulders, chest. Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong song. Shoulders back, seat adjusted, wallet out of back pocket, hips not twisted. After long driving or flights, walk and stretch gently. Before lifting, ask, can I get closer to the object? Use my legs, brace my core, avoid twisting, and ask for help. During work breaks, move something. Hips, cows, shirt, shoulders, ankles, wrists, neck. I remember my calls in the days I used to play bounce music in the break room so everybody could have a twerk off. And we used to do it in the parking lot too for local days. Before bed, stretch lightly instead of scrolling until your body is folded into a question mark. If you sit all day, set movement reminders. If you stand all day, work on recovery, calves, feet, hips, and supportive shoes. If you are stiff, do not shame yourself. Study yourself. If you're in pain, get evaluated. If a movement hurts sharply, stop. If you are unsure, ask a professional. And remember, every stretch does not have to be a full routine. You can stretch before a shower, before clocking in, before lunch, after work, while watching TV, at the park, before bed. When the area is safe and you are aware of your surroundings, you can even do a quick mobility check before or after getting in the car. Don't do that, baby. Don't do that and blame it on me. Keep y'all head on the swivel when you come out the car. Unless you in your garage or something. Make sure your car is turned off because carbon monoxide poisoning is real, people. Any little small space where carbon dioxide and exhaust fumes from your car can, you know, the point is to become a person who can still live in their body. Because that's the thing. People chasing money so much. It's so many things, controllable things that people neglecting and been neglecting. But their whole thing is when I get this money, when I get this job, oh, I hope I find like they got men, men are homosexuals too. They got men, oh, and I get that girl that take care of me, my life gonna be better. Okay, brother, but you're 120 pounds and you have a 9-month belly. Like, anyways, this video is not about fear. It is about respect. Respect your back, respect your knees, respect your hips, bones, feet, core, future, because the future version of you is either going to thank you or question you. And I'm not saying every injury is preventable. Some accidents happen. Some conditions are genetic. Some people have disabilities they did not cause. Some people are dealing with pain despite doing everything right. Yeah, I was doing everything right and I got crushed. This is a stewardship message. Do what you can with what you have. If you have access to medical care, use it. If you are recommended physical therapy, take it. If you have insurance, learn what it covers. If you do not have much money, use free resources carefully. If you have access to nature, walk in it. If you have 5 minutes, stretch gently. If you have pain, listen in my DJ Khaled voice. If you have a job that is damaging your body, document and plan. If you are the dependable one, like I was, set boundaries before your body sets them for you. Set boundaries on everything. Because baby, you'll get a 3 package like me, your body, your money, and everything else. Protect your assets and your ass. If you are young, do not wait until 50 to care. If you are 50, do not think it is too late to improve. If you are older, do not let pride stop you from asking for help. Because they have people of all ages. I've seen 70-year-olds improve their mobility. So, I mean, if you under 70, if you over 70, you ain't got no excuse either. I mean, because I don't need excuses. If you don't do it, you just don't do it. Like, I'm not in y'all living room watching y'all saying you didn't do mobility today. Like, I honestly wish the best for people, but I'm not obsessed with people's life because I'm too busy living mine. The body is not just something you drag through life. And because I was someone who gave too much of my life by caring about other people's lives more than what they did, which didn't benefit anyone but them. So, it's you live and you learn, then you get loves. It is how you hug people, how you dance, work, travel, cook, pray, play, protect yourself. Now I hope people ain't out there getting a bad back from praying. How you get up after life knocks you down. So watch your back. No, really, watch your back, because one day your body may ask you a question. Did you protect me while I was protecting you? And I hope the answer is yes. And that's it for this video. And I usually don't say too much because I don't want to give off that parasocial vibe. And even though I write a script, that's because I ramble. So even though I do still ramble here, but it's much controlled ramble than it would have been if I didn't have a script. Please see previous videos that are private that you can't see to see how bad that goes. Even though it's good information. So what I want to say is I appreciate anything that people do, even though I won't see it because I will never look at that. Like I deleted the YouTube Studio app off my phone. I just upload straight either from StreamYard or straight from Final Cut Pro because I'm here for the information. But just know I have a sixth sense that maybe people are saying things. And I mean, I guess y'all could email me because I've been getting emails from, I guess, spam pages talking about growing my channel, which is funny because I'm not on here for that. I'm not on here for recognition. I appreciate it, but this is not about me. This is about the things I talk about because these things are really important. Like a person mobility when they get older, that's super important. So my message may not be the best, but at least it's on your mind now. So, okay, I didn't like what Jay New Orleans said. Let me go look up more about back mobility. Let me look up more about stretching. That's my goal. If I do that, destiny fulfilled. So other than that, again, thank y'all. And please take care of yourself. And don't talk about taking care of yourself. Start. Whatever you have in your house that could be on the right path, start with that. And if that's not close enough, if you have access to funding or something at your job or your friend who work at the hospital and be bringing all kind of free stuff home, start something, some type of positive change. And the next video is probably going to be about programming, which actually helps to kind of alley-oop this video. But again, thanks everyone. And yeah, see y'all in traffic.
Like, comment, and subscribe to J New Orleans.